Yeah, I slid down his neck like Fred Flintstone on a dinosaur. I chapped my ass on the way down.
And now we're gonna put our hands together and welcome to the stage, Brendan Fraser, Patricia Velasquez, John Hanna, and Odette Fair.
Wow.
How are you all doing?
Nobody showed up.
Oh, what happened? They went home.
We're in a fight. I'm over here. I'll just move over.
Yes.
You're in the timeout chair.
Yeah.
So how has Denver been treating the four of you so far this weekend? Having fun time? Yeah, I mean,
What do you
look at
think?
the audience.
Denver.
By my count, I've met probably just at my table maybe 10 people who came up to me and said, I just want you to know that because of this film, The Mummy, I've gone into the field of either archaeology or history or some other than natural sciences. I promise you. And of all the cons I've been to, this is clearly the spike for the number of people who have really been moved by this movie in a real world personally changing way. Happens from every city I go to. So that's a really nice reminder that this film still has legs. Thank you for that.
We have never had a reunion before, and it happened here in Denver, so thank you.
And as you can see, it's going really well with me being away from everybody else. So.
Now, Brendan, I know you know, I think perhaps best that there's a renaissance going on with The Mummy, but I want to know from like everybody else too, and yourself included, what has it been like getting to see the impact that this franchise has had on people and continuing to hear these stories? I know you just talked about, hearing from historians, and I can add to that. My background is historic preservation and anthropology, so The Mummy played a big part in that. So you can add me to that list as well.
Well, a lot of it comes down to a common story we all hear again and again, which is this is a film that we watch with our family every year, or it plays, and you kind of can't turn it off because you just want to know, look, there's Benny. I like Benny. You know what I mean? So look, it endures. Let's just say that. It's kind of like a mummy, it just won't go away.
Let's start all the way from the beginning. What was the audition process like for each of you to get these iconic roles?
I was finishing George of the Jungle.
Woo!
Thank you. And I didn't have a job. And I was sent a script, and it said The Mummy on the cover, and it was from Steven. I'm not going to gloss over just saying that because that was the first time in my career that I was ever sent a script with an offer attached to it. Wow. That was the first time. Like a studio picture. And so, you pay attention, and I read it, and I had some questions like you do, but overall, I knew that. Meeting Steven's infectious energy helps a lot. I knew that we would be going on one hell of a journey. And it was almost took on mythical proportions to think we're gonna go to North Africa, and we'll be in the deserts of Ouarzazate for like 2.5 months or something like that. This guy was there for the longest of all of us. I still think, sucker.
That was on the second film, and they left, and they were there,
Left?
They left. They all left me, and they kind of like, see ya. But it was awesome. I loved it.
Wanna be ya!
Oh, I love that so much. We have some pre-submitted questions for the four of you. This one comes from Jasmine from Los Angeles. The Mummy had so many intense action sequences. What was the most physically demanding scene that you filmed, and did anything go hilariously wrong?
Oh, where to start? Who wants to go?
Well, let me just tell you, and this is for Brendan actually, but when we first got to Morocco, to Marrakesh, in the mornings we would talk about the script and meet up, and in the afternoons everyone was sent off to learn the various trades, horse riding or chariot riding, and a few of us were sent out to ride camels to learn how to ride camels. And listen, don't get me wrong, it was absolutely fantastic. What a great job riding camels through the foothills of the mountains outside Marrakesh, and gradually getting better, getting into sprinting. But there was one day we were out and we were kind of having a gallop, whatever, and the camels are wearing their like blinker type things with knots, and I don't imagine they see the ground particularly well.
They're not very smart.
They're not very smart. And Brendan's camel's front leg like went down a gopher hole. Do you remember this, Brendan?
Yeah, I slid down his neck like Fred Flintstone on a dinosaur. I chapped my ass on the way down and balletically landed on my feet by some fluke, only to learn last night that the rest of the camel was throwing hydraulic kicks millimeters from my skull that I never saw. Thank you, John Hanna.
Yeah. I was worried for him. I was just glad it wasn't me, obviously, you know.
I got you.
I can just say, with regards to me, the hardest physical stunts and so on was not the whole Anubis warriors, horse riding, and all the sword fighting and all the rest of it. It was trying to keep up with Brendan. Anytime they would say action and he'd start running, it was hell. It was hell.
No, it was those cowboy boots you were wearing in the sand, my friend.
No, dude.
We talked about
You are so fast. And I was like,
Well, now I want to know if there was like improv moments at all in the movie, because obviously it has such a tremendous script. But seeing the four of you up here and your rapport with each other,
I have one that happened in the second movie, and it was the duplex. He was driving the double-decker bus, and half of a mummy is doing something really intimidating and coming at me by using the overhead pipes, and its lower half of its torso is gone, I think. Yeah. So of course, thank you. And so, of course, on the day, that's back when green screens were blue, it would all be stripped in later, and the guys from ILM and John Burton were on set, and we were shooting at Pinewood then. And it came at me in my imagination, of course, because it's not really there on the first take. And for whichever reason, I can only attribute to spending too much time after school watching Three Stooges. I reached out and poked the imaginary mummy in the eyeballs with 2 fingers, thinking, well, it's the first take. They'll and go, Bernie, knock it off, man. And then ding, ding, cut. And I'm hearing murmuring offset. No, it's good. No, we can do it, actually. That's not bad. No, serious, no, I know. How much is that going to cost? No, it's cool. We can do it, actually. No, seriously, dude, it's funny. It is funny. You got to admit it's funny. Seriously, it's funny. Okay, you go tell him. I'll go tell him. I'm standing there waiting. I can hear you! Pretty much they came over and told me, we can put the mummy in later getting jabbed in the eyeballs. But that kind of improvisation is really tricky to make when you're working in the medium at that time, because all the shots are so prescribed months and weeks in advance, and blah, 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 blah. And if you deviate from that path, you can wind up spending a lot of money that someone has to clean up something in special effects. But it was really interesting because we were on a movie that was really on the turning cusp of where the technology could take us at that time. In '99, ILM with Magic Hat, they were the bomb, they were the go-to. And credit to Stacy Snyder, our executive producer, for supporting that director and pouring lots of cash into developing all those awesome effects, which we all look at now charmingly and think, how quaint. Because you could do 14 times better on your own phone right now. But it does take on a certain charm, and I would argue that we should never change the Scorpion King to whatever high res. Just leave him as is, okay? Leave him alone, all right? Come on. Video game rock is pretty freaking awesome, you got it. I'm gonna shut up, I'm doing all the talking. Okay, bye.
Yeah, my costume was concentrated on just trying to look bigger and taller because Brendan is big and tall.
So he gave you a big hat.
Gave me a huge hat.
High heel
high
boots.
heels.
That's why he wasn't running fast.
I was in high heels and a dress, trying to keep up with that guy.
in the sand.
With a big machine gun the whole time.
But didn't he look impressive when he showed up?
Right there, yeah.
Dude, that cavalry charge at the end gets me every time. When Artist Faye says to the death, I'm weeping. I'm like, yeah, man, go kill him. I love it.
So we know
Then I remember him falling off his horse and I laugh. Or with the bird.
Yeah.
Bird.
Yeah. I was
He
a
was the
bird.
only guy that could touch the bird without ripping a finger off.
I took care of the bird. We all traveled between places to go film, right? We had a 6-hour drive or something. And I was sitting with the bird for 6 hours like this on the road because the bird didn't want to fly. It was an English bird and brought to Morocco, and all of a sudden the bird was like, I'm sorry, it's way too hot here. So it took a lot of coercing, a lot of like, come on, eat, here's a water bath.
Or maybe it was a female bird that was like, I'm keeping my guy. Don't come close to him.
There's that.
Maybe is that what it was? Maybe it was. Yeah, but that bird did not fly till the day of, practically. And I remember Stephen Summers that morning going, "Is the damn bird gonna fly? Is it gonna fly?" I'm like,
Asking you.
yeah, because I was
Because the trainer quit. I'm joking. That's not true. That's not true.
It was, and then the bird just flew like a star, like no problem. Every take, perfect, and we were done. It was amazing.
it's incredible. But I'm curious, I always love to hear stories about the things that actors take home with them or are gifted. But I want to know, what is one thing that you wish you had been able to walk off the set of The Mummy or The Mummy 2 with, whether it be a prop, the bird, any of the things, for each of you?
I might have gotten the butterfly knife. Steven gave it to me.
Anything else down there?
I have the belt from Mila. I still have that one. I think I wish I would have kept the size from the fight scene. That's the one thing I go, oh, I wish I had this.
John?
I didn't actually get given anything.
The snake.
That's why you stole all that stuff. I saw your house. I saw your garden. Oh, no, I like to take a little
Nothing
piece of each and every
secret.
production. His backyard looked like the yard sale from The Mummy, okay? It did.
Oh, that's where it all went. Okay.
Okay, there was one or two things that I have in the garden. Some nice little cartouches and things like that. Some large pieces of slate, which were really quite cool.
For some unknown reason, a huge statue of Daffy Duck. No, I'm kidding.
And now we have a question for John from Gemma in Cincinnati. She would like to know how you were able to make your character so memorable when it was really kind of like a comic relief character.
I don't know. As I say, Brendan just changed everything, and I've always been quite mouthy, so I just tried to have the last word, which you never can with Brendan, so... that was it. Other than that, I was just like happy to be getting paid.
He was panicking for the first 2 weeks. They can't fire me yet. They can't fire me yet.
Because I didn't know what I was meant to be doing. And
None of us did.
Yeah,
Rachel
exactly,
was walking
yeah.
around
And
going,
he's
they're going to
talking
burn our equity cards.
he's talking about like being panicked as a young actor. You think everybody's
Oh, we
talking
all
about-
were wetting our
all
pants.
panicked because
Please.
nobody knew. We didn't know
No idea
if
what this movie
film
was.
was
We
going to
didn't
be
know
any
what this was gonna
good, if anybody was
No.
going to watch
Is
it.
it a comedy? Is this Abbott and Costello?
Exactly.
Is this a
And I'll
straightforward
bet when-
action movie? Or is
I bet when you poked that mummy in the eye and you could hear all of it, I bet you two were standing there going, oh God, I was probably terrible. What was I done wrong,
I was expecting to come and get chewed out by
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah. Like, quit screwing around. That's expensive. No, I don't mean it that much.
Do what we tell you. Stop inventing things. Yeah, good luck with that.
So hearing how it was on The Mummy and kind of not knowing how things were going to go, what was it like when you got that call to get to come back and to play these characters again for the sequel?
Awesome.
It was really good. It was like coming back for another semester at college. Let's all room together next year, guys.
And not only we were all coming back, the crew was coming back. So it was a big reunion when we all met in Morocco, and it just felt, again, like I said at the beginning, you always give it your all, because it always comes back. Just give it your all, because 25 years later, how many years? I said 25? We're here sitting with you guys. I mean, always do your best, because you will always get rewarded for it. Always.
You know, I am curious, like at that time, was there ever conversations about doing like a larger MonsterVerse? I know they had Van Helsing, which I think Steven did as well. Was there ever any conversations like that, or was it just, let's just get the sequel done?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know that Tom tried to make this movie, and easy, before you say, hey, we all know how hard this movie is to make. I tried to do it 3 times, okay? So, but the essential ingredient in all of these films that we made was that let's face it, it was fun, you know? It was fun. It was a thrill ride. You wanted to do it again. And so the answer is, you just got to give everybody what they really, really want. And if you stray from that path, then it's, you know, it's a different entity in its own. So, heck, if it worked once, do it twice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That is very true.
Not gonna lie.
That is very true. Yes. And I feel like that is like the perfect note maybe to end on.
But we just want to say thank you, because
Thank you so much for
you
Thank
have
you so
been
much, everybody.
the best. I mean,
What a way to wrap up FAN EXPO Denver with the 4 of you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. And thank you all.
Thank you all.
Yes, this is fantastic.
Thanks for coming
Let's
out,
give it-
Denver.
Yes, let's give it up one more time for the cast. Thank you all.